All right, hello and welcome. So my name is Guillaume Debauchez. I'm the CEO of Airline Selection Programme. We are going to talk about Advanced Interview Course version 2. So tonight is the big launch event of the course. As you may remember, the course launched last year, around the same time. And the course was a success. It's helped lots and lots of pilots be successful at airline selections with a very high success rate, but it was time for an update. And what we're going to do now is detail the new updates to the course. As you will see, they are significant. And I believe that it will mostly make your life so much easier as you prepare for your selection, that you will find it more intuitive, easier, and also there's a lot more content in the course as well. Right, so let's get back into our PowerPoint here. So Advanced Interview Course version 2 remains the only e-learning course in the world that is focused on airline selections. It is mostly due to my experience. I'm ex-British Airways. I was a co-pilot with them on the A320 and the Boeing 777. And then I moved to Emirates, where I spent 9 years, 4.5 of which in the left seat, so as a captain on the Boeing 777. And during this time, I was also a recruiter, so I recruited for them for quite some time. So I had the opportunity to see lots and lots of pilots in the sim, at the group interview, and at the final interview. I was participating in all phases of the assessments. So this experience was a significant part of my career, because I still remember how it was when I was in your seat, when I was in your place, wondering whether I was going to be successful. And as you may know, at the beginning of my career, I struggled. I graduated in 2001, a period very similar to COVID, where everything stopped for a little while, and it took a lot of dedication and effort before I finally made it into a major airline. I had to study recruitment to understand how to present myself, and after I did that, I never failed a selection again. But it took a lot of preparation, and I was very surprised once I got on the other side of the curtain to see how much there was that students and candidates didn't know. And if they would just know these few things, it would be so much easier for them. Sometimes candidates make very small mistakes that give the recruiter the impression that there is some risk involved with their recruitment. And that's what you need to understand in order to present yourself better. There's actually a lot of work that is required for you to succeed at an airline selection. The two major reasons why people fail airline selections is, number one, if you're not an English-speaking native, it will be your English level. And the second reason is lack of preparation. This lack of preparation will be linked to a few things. One thing that candidates don't prepare enough, and that we really expanded on in Advanced Interview Course version 2, is understanding the specific airline that they are applying for, understanding their strategy, their dynamics, what's going on inside this airline. And here there are really two different kinds of airlines. There are major airlines and there are low-cost airlines. So what we've done in Advanced Interview Course version 2 is we've developed 5 case studies that really help you understand the strategy of these airlines. Because when you understand their strategy, you are much better able to make an impression on the recruiter that you worked, that you prepared, and that you understand what you're getting into and that you are ready to work for them, okay? So let's go back into our presentation and I will elaborate on that. So the recruiter is evaluating key competencies. They want to make a risk evaluation for your recruitment. And they are essentially ticking boxes. And here we've listed 8 competencies. There's also the competency pyramid, which is the 9 ICAO competencies. And then there are 3 CRM competencies. The point of this presentation is not to go into detail. This is detailed in Advanced Interview Course. It's important to reinforce that the recruiter will be evaluating these key competencies. Now, they will be using a personality questionnaire as well. And what is unique with our approach is that we use a personality questionnaire that we debrief you in person. We have worked with work psychologists specifically, and we will be able to debrief you and to tell you very precisely, in fact, it's almost surgical, which questions you will have at the interview. And we've had a lot of success with this questionnaire. We use a 16PF questionnaire, and every single person who purchases through the website will have access to a 16PF questionnaire. If you purchase through the app, you will have access to it again. Some of our clients who subscribe as part of an ATO will not have the 16PF, but if you purchase the product yourself, you will have access to the 16PF questionnaire, which we buy for you, and we also debrief you one-to-one on Zoom. And so the Advanced Interview Course is in version 2 the same as version 1 in the sense that there are 8 modules. It remains the only e-learning course in the world focused on airline selection, and it includes, like I said, an official 16PF questionnaire with a personal debrief with an HR specialist, which will be, so I have to move my video here, which will be either myself or one of our other specialists who are also airline pilots and fully licensed with 16PF. And this course has been existing now for 18 months and it's got an incredible success rate. Typically, people multiply their success by a factor of 3. As you may know, the average success rate at any given selection is about 25%, depending on the time, the cycle of recruitment. But on average, we treble the success rate just because when you are aware of what's going on and when you're aware of yourself through the 16PF questionnaire debrief, you become so much better at answering any question that comes at you that, of course, you increase your chances of success quite a lot. Also, you appear to be a lot more relaxed and to welcome the recruitment exercise instead of being stressed, tense, and reserved. And so, of course, the recruiter will feel very comfortable to be seeing you like this. So Advanced Interview Course version 2 still has the same modules as version 1. Module 1, we talk about the key competency framework and the recruitment matrix. Module 2, the key competency framework is basically I explained to you what was in these 8 competencies, the pyramid and the underlying CRM blocks. We talk about the recruitment matrix, which is how you are being graded at the airline. As soon as you enter the airline, you are being graded. So we go into detail on how this works so that you understand what's going on when you're going through all the various exercises. Then in Module 2, which we've expanded a lot, we talk about collecting company information and preparation and mindset. So we've expanded the collecting company information bit a lot with case studies for 5 airlines, which I will detail in a minute. If you understand these 5 airlines, you can pretty much understand any of them. Okay, so then there are Module 3, we talk about psychometric tests. And although we don't run psychometric tests as part of Advanced Interview Course, we tell you where to go, and typically pilot assessments, latest pilot jobs, or pilot tests. And we tell you the important thing, the time that you need to prepare, which is essentially you need 3 months to prepare adequately. So I've got candidates right now who are cadets and they are sending their applications to British Airways or to Aer Lingus or even to Wizz Air and to Air France. You need to prepare for psychometrics very early on, or at least even if you don't know which airline is going to invite you first, then you can go on pilot assessments and you can take the pro package and at least prepare for any possible psychometrics so that you have the agility, the mental agility to then just refine closer to the date. Okay, Module 4, we talk about the SIM assessment, and this module is shared with the SIM preparation course. We're going to talk about decision models, intervention models, and workload management models. This is the most important module with Module 1. Because it really teaches you how an airline pilot thinks and how they get in and out, so how they get mostly out of difficult situations, stressful situations of high workload. Once you master this, you're able to so much better explain your own decisions in a way that will really impress on the recruiter that you know what you're doing and you know why you're deciding what you're deciding. Module 5, group exercise. So here we don't run group exercises inside Advanced Interview Course, so we teach you strategies for success. Depending on the group dynamics, there are certain things that certain postures you will want to adopt, whether to lead or to follow or whether to share the lead. This is something you must understand depending on the group dynamics on the day. Honestly, it's so difficult to prepare for any possible group exercise that you will have in real life that we feel that what we bring you in Module 5 is sufficient for you to be able to succeed an actual group exercise. In Module 6, we talk about personality questionnaires in general and why knowing yourself is key and why you really want to have this 16PF done. Now, to me, to prepare candidates for selections without a personality questionnaire is simply not adequate, and that's why we've invested so much time and effort in, first of all, sourcing this questionnaire, getting qualified on this questionnaire, and working together with work psychologists to give you a really high-quality debrief that you can really rely on. So Module 6, we explain this. At the end of Module 6, you have the opportunity to send us an email to get your questionnaire assigned to you and to also get your debrief scheduled. Module 7, we get into the meat of it really, which is the questions that you're going to get at an advanced interview, at a classic interview, at a hybrid interview, and we list questions one by one and we tell you how to approach these questions and how to best answer these questions. Now, we don't provide canned answers because you are different from someone else, but we advise you to write an experience sheet, and I show you my experience sheet in a program where you can see how to go about thinking over your life in order to bring compelling examples to the table when the recruiter will ask you, tell me a time when you were in a situation like this and how you dealt with it. And you have to prepare this so that you don't either look for an example for an inconsiderate amount of time, or that you pick an example that is not good because maybe it will answer some of the question, but it will also highlight some shortcomings that you had. And maybe, yeah, you made a great decision, but your workload management on the day wasn't great. So this example is not well chosen. So I teach you in this module how to make the best possible list of examples that you're going to bring with you to the interview. The best examples hit multiple competencies at once. So you're going to try and come up with these examples and bring these examples to the recruiter when the opportunity presents itself, and you will see the recruiter will tick the boxes of the competencies. There's one thing that I didn't explain properly, I think, at the beginning, is the recruiter has to tick 8 boxes. Okay, these 8 boxes in the white square that you saw in the beginning, the recruiter has to tick these 8 boxes. So until they've done this, the interview will continue. And at some airlines, the interview will continue anyway, because they, like at Air France, it's minimum 1 hour. I've never had anyone come back to me saying that they spend less than an hour. But when I was recruiting, if you can tick all the 8 competencies in the space of 30, 40 minutes, the interview ends. We've got what we wanted. Okay, we want evidence that the competencies were there. We get evidence by getting examples that were real, that felt real, with enough detail. We believe that they're real. We've got what we need. The interview is closed. The less time you spend, the better, because the more time you spend, the more words come out of your mouth, and the more you can put your foot in your mouth and say something irrelevant that does not belong in an interview room. Okay. So this is why you really want to prepare your examples, because if you give me an example that ticks 4 competencies at once, that's 4 competencies done in a 10-minute example. Give me another example and I'll tick 2 more, and 1 more example and I'll tick 2 more, and we are done. You see? So that's why you really need to prepare your examples. And then in module 8, we do an expansion on the hybrid interview. The hybrid interview is an interview that is set in the future. They give you scenarios and they get you to imagine what you would do in this or that scenario. It's a very nice way to interview, which, I mean, the advanced interview is the best type of interview because it's really about gathering evidence through past experience, because the best way to know how you're going to behave tomorrow is to get evidence of how you behaved yesterday. But the hybrid interview is great, and it makes strong use of the concepts you will learn in module 4. So usually at module 8, the questions, the simulated questions that I ask there, that you will be able to pause the screen before you answer, will really help you understand that you really gain from trusting the concepts that we've put out to you for your success. Okay, good. So normally at module 8, things sort of come together full circle, and you are good to go. So, but now you're going to tell me there was no change. Okay, but what's new? So what's new in version 2? So first of all, we've increased the amounts of recording quite significantly. Okay, so we've gone from 8 hours to 13 hours of brand new content. Everything is new. Everything is completely fresh in this nice environment with this nice sound, okay? And of course, it's the same concepts, but what we've done is we've gone into a lot more detail. And you're going to tell me, oh my God, this is going to be like 4-hour videos and stuff like that. No, we've segmented the course a lot better so that it's easy for you to go back and revise a specific area. So you will see there's many more modules, and it's so much easier for you to use the course. Now we've got detailed airline case studies as well. We've got British Airways and Air France. These are the 2 major airlines. And then we've got Wizz Air, Low Cost Irish Airline, and EasyJet. Okay, so each of them is a case study for these airlines supported by documents. So as you know, we have some pre-courses for some of these airlines, but these videos just go further. The thing is that in module 2, we explain to you how to do your research, and I will go and explain how I went about analyzing this airline and what I've collected and how I'm going to use this to my advantage. Then we're going to have some monthly Q&A sessions, and these Q&A sessions, they will start from next week. So they will start from the 27th of September at 6 p.m. So it will be on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. And we are going to aim to do them monthly so that you can ask your questions. We found that a lot of people sometimes just want to ask the questions in a more direct way. And I've been unable lately to answer to everyone in as much time as I would like, but I find that most of your questions are very similar. So this will be an opportunity, and I don't suspect that there will be a mass amount of people on these meetings, such that I will be able to get to each and every one of your questions. That is the goal. So during these Q&A sessions, we will both answer your questions live. You will be also able to send your questions ahead of time, and I'll do my very best to answer your questions. It was shot in 4K video with very high quality audio, as you can experience now. And really, this course has everything you need to succeed. I can tell you, those who've been seeing the changes, I've had someone write to me yesterday who told me that it is really lively and a nice way to be able to learn. And this person said, it is almost the same as being in a classroom, and certainly it's not an experience like what you have watching long videos. So I hope that you get the same experience from Advanced Interview Course version 2. Okay, so that's what's new in version 2. Yeah, nothing was removed from version 1. You still have the 16 PF questionnaire. You still have the 45-minute personal debrief. And yes, success has never been easier. You can also, at an additional cost, which at the time of the recording is 200 euros, get a one-to-one interview with me, which is a practice interview where we do a 45-minute interview, and we spend another similar amount of time to debrief this interview in detail, review your examples, and see where you could have improved. And I really recommend this service if you have a major airline selection coming, where you know that there's going to be a personality questionnaire used for the selection. So this remains available. Also, in the course, we've made booking slots easier. And for instance, the Q&A sessions, everything is sort of encapsulated inside the course. So for instance, the Q&A sessions, they will be recorded and they will automatically appear inside the product, so you will be able to watch the Q&A sessions yourself later. Okay, so this is when you are inside the course, this is what you can see, okay? So normally you get here, and because I'm logged in, I'm not seeing my video. Normally there's a video where I go about explaining what I just said now about the competencies, the pyramid, the chain, okay? So this video is not showing once you're logged in. But once you become a client, so this is what you can see. So you will get an introduction video, and then you will have the advanced Q&A sessions where you can register. So you can register straight on the site here. So you click and you will get a registration link, and it allows you to register. You see, you can register straight into the link, you can reserve yourself a spot, okay? And then when you are on the day, if you don't find the link, you can just go there and it will put you straight into Zoom. Okay, I'm not going to do it now, but okay. And module 1, let's go back here. You see, we've added some really nice features and by the way, all of this is available on let's go back, on iPad and iPhone as well, all of these features. Okay, so in module 1, so this is the only video that is long, this is 1 hour and 20 minutes, which explains the key competency framework. There's no way I can break this video in a way that made sense. You have to go through this video in one go. And after that, you get a test. So after each module, you get a test, which is, it doesn't matter if you don't pass the test, but the idea is if you pass the test, it means you've understood what was inside the module, okay? So we've done this so as to make sure that you've acquired the required competencies. Okay, the module 2 is the one that's really been an expansion. You know, how much research to do and why it's important. The data you absolutely must collect prior to any selection. Understanding financial reports. So before this was embedded in the module, you see, so now it's 20 minutes just if you are wondering, oh my God, I don't understand anymore how these financial reports work. What is the EBITDA? What is the net profit? What is how much debt is too much debt? All of this is inside this module. Adopting a systematic approach to efficient research, whatever the airline. Then you have case study, BA, Air France. So you see this one, it's 33 minutes, half an hour, 25 minutes, 38 minutes, and 17 minutes. So they are quite long case studies, which will really help you. And then honestly, if you know these 5 airlines, then you can study any airline. Okay, their strategies have little differences. BA and Air France are similar, but there are differences there as well. Wizz Air, low-cost Irish airline, and EasyJet, they are low-cost airlines, but they're all quite different as well. So once you've understood this, then after that to go and analyze another airline, it's going to be so easy for you. And okay, and then after that we talk about attitude and body language. Psychometric test. This is very similar to what we had in module 1. Then here in module 4, you see we've detailed each of this. Before this was one big module, but here it's all detailed. Then there's a bonus module here about, I tell you what it takes to pragmatically dispatch a long-haul plane in a major airline. So I run you through one of my pre-flights and how I went about dispatching a plane, the different building blocks that come into it. So you can, the more I speak to you about my experience, about how it was to be an airline pilot, the more you start to get into the job, the more you understand the job, the more you'll understand what your recruiter is going through when they are flying a plane and how to project yourself into that role, okay? Then we talk about the group interview, similar to before. There, the 16 PF, there's a 1 hour module there and how to book your 16 PF. And if you come from an ATO, you can purchase the 16 PF from here, which, by the way, that costs 300 euros. So you can see we have to buy it and debrief it. So when you buy it from here, you buy the course. This is included, okay? So this is also why this course has its price tag, is because the 16 PF is unique. It is a proper business tool used by large companies, and it is not cheap. So, but we buy it for you, okay? So you get the value of that, which is so much of an advantage. In module 7, again, we've detailed questions for, okay, the fundamentals of each type of interview. So drive questions, communication questions, problem-solving questions, workload management questions, teamwork questions, leadership questions. Okay, so each of them has been detailed, and that's it. Then how to schedule a one-to-one interview. Then there's a handout with some slides. There's some airline research sheets which we're gradually going to change this so as to, we're looking to find a way for you to be able to update sheets as well, because as you're going through your airline prep, you're going to gather some new information. We're looking for a way for you to be able to contribute live on the sheets, but for now they are static, but they are good. And there's also the ISC version 1 video archive that is available if you still want to watch the videos from before. Okay, good. So that's about it. If you're not on our WhatsApp group yet, so this is our English-speaking WhatsApp group. Join it. It's not the most active of groups, I have to say, but at least people know how to join us this way. So I recommend that you actually go on Discord, okay? If you're not on it, go there. It's free. This is where you can you can chat with us for free, and the group is very active at the moment. Discord is very active. So I really recommend, if you don't know us, if you've not been there, please go there. It's such a nice way for us to communicate and link with you. When I now use it as well for direct messages. I'm asking everybody, please first post on Discord, and then after that, if you need, just PM me on Discord, and I'll do my best to answer. When I go on Discord, I've set half an hour or 1 hour to answer your questions, and I will go there to do that. Just wanted to give you a little peek of what it looks like. You see, we've got all the airlines here on the left, all of the airlines. So it's very active, and it's just a very nice environment. Okay. Good. Right, if you need to get in touch with us, you either can email info@airlineselectionprogramme.com or via Intercom. So Intercom, it's the little window that you see here on the right, okay, and you can write to us, and I'm sure that you will have witnessed that we are very quick at answering. We normally don't work at weekends, but we tend to reply to your questions as quickly as physically possible. Okay, download the apps as well. The apps are a great way of learning, and they are sort of free companions to your courses. Personally, when I watch a video of my own course just to see if it's loading well, I'm using the app. I'm using it on the iPad. I find that it's just so nice to use this. You can use it on the train, on the plane. You can download the course for offline viewing. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this presentation and you've seen now what is inside Advanced Interview Course, and you can make your choice to either get Advanced Interview Course standalone or part of the Gold package. There's also the Platinum package that adds the English proficiency course if you think that you need an extra bit of help on the English. So for now, I will say goodbye, and it's been a pleasure to be able to speak with you, and I hope to see you very, very soon in Advanced Interview Course or any of our other courses.